One of the things that struck me is that we've seen the power of the traditional nation states, particularly the US, Europe, and the countries within Europe, diminishing. But slightly alarming, we're seeing the growth of huge multinationals and indeed oligarchs who seem to be assuming some of the power and the influence that these nation states had. Is that a threat to this whole idea, and how do we bring those kinds of people on board?
Well, it is a threat in that economic globalization in the last few decades has grown hand in hand with the global corporation. Global corporations have made it reality, but they've been able to grow because of the policy of economic globalization. So they're all part of one narrative in many respects. And so, as you say, economic globalization, as I say, we need to move beyond that to something that's a little bit different. Global corporations could start by resisting that because they will lose power. But actually, and the good global corporations are really starting to see this, is that accept that it's changing and understand that there's change coming, and then engage with that and start to lead it and change it. And then the global corporation then changes. I mean, an example is global manufacturing, this idea that you manufacture somewhere in the Far East and you ship it somewhere further west, and then it gets used and junked into landfill is completely unsustainable. So when you get involved in not just recycling, but the genuine cradle-to-cradle production systems, then you build something, it goes to a customer, and then it gets completely reused or recycled. And the ultimate, you don't even sell it, you just lease the service. But all of that is quite a sticky relationship where you have manufacturing, back to onshoring. You bring it back inside, and corporations starting to do this already. They're starting to realise that offshoring wasn't what it was cracked out to be. There's real problems with this, and sustainability drives that much, much faster to say, no, we do it differently. So corporate manufacturing changes, and then the corporation, if they're a global corporation coming in as an outsider in this new world, they're going to be resisted. They have to be seen as engaged locally. And so the structure of the corporation is almost certainly going to be much more autonomy to national units.
Yes. I don't think it'll be easy necessarily to wean the consumer off low price goods, low price clothes, low price electronics, but I do believe that there is a change in perception, and the stories I've seen, particularly in America, of onshoring and the value that has, and the perception amongst the American people of, wow, manufacturing jobs coming back to America, I think it's maybe changing ideas and perspectives somewhat.
I think it is. To say to someone who walks into a shop that they should try and choose something which is, made locally or whatever, and perhaps pay some more for it if there's cheap alternatives there. That's quite a hard one if you think you might rely on that. But when you look at the total change which is possible, total change that is coming, the choices available become different. And so the choices offered to the vast majority of people who perhaps don't particularly think it through and care very much, those choices become sustainable choices. So the default becomes sustainable consumption.
Sure. Yes.